Hello guys and welcome to the third round of the Simpit ACC League here on obviously Assetto Corsa, presented by the guys over at SGP. The guys are currently out on track in practice, so we'll get over there and see how they're getting on. Unfortunately guys, I have to go back to the conventional overlay, so I'm going to actually have to do some adjustments actually, because otherwise we're not going to see everything that we need to see. So please bear with me one moment. There we can see the drop down scoreboards now, a bit clearer. What I'm going to do is do some other bits as well. So there we go. This hopefully should help now. So Mr. Lind is currently fastest with a 1:49.8. Just got to bring a couple of things into perspective. There we go. So I'm currently on board with Mr. Heiko Whipperman. Looks like everyone's out on track, so we'll switch over to Mr. Callum Cloud, see how he's doing. Out there in that nice looking McLaren. Did struggle last week with the Simpit Patreon race that we did. But hopefully with a little bit more practice for this week, so that was like it might have helped him. As in the background there we see Mr. John Crane in the bright luminous green / yellow Aston Martin. So we've only got two matching cars so far, and that's the two BMWs. I do expect them to be near the front today. I'll click on board with the McLaren. So, like I said, we're just currently in free practices. Just get the guys out there just to have a warm up. So, could take a lot more of that inside curb there. I think the car just unsettles a little bit too much. As Friday has gone into P2, the Lexus with a lap time. So again guys, our league, we do have a 45-minute race with a 10-minute pit window that they have to change tyres in. So free practice just added. Callum's just gone third. So Mr. Crane did get out there, but he did not able to do a time unfortunately, but we're going straight to qualifying in a moment. So I'll click on with Mr. Thomas in his Audi. He did want to change to the Ferrari, but unfortunately, due to how simracing.gp works at the moment, in a championship we can't change the drivers' cars or let them unsign up and then re-sign up because it'll still keep them in the same car. But as it's only a short series, it's not going to be too bad, unfortunately. But still, unfortunately, he does have to run the Audi for the rest of the season, where he wanted to change into the Ferrari. Ken looks like he's improved a lot since the last session that we had in that Ferrari. So just waiting for the guys to finish end of practice. Here we wait for Mr. Callum McLeod now to come around to finish, and it'll go straight over into qualifying. The guys do know it's an evening to nighttime race, so it will be interesting. So the 20-minute qualifying session now has started. So you've got quite a bit of time in between. And it does look like Mr. Thomas wants to get out there early. So is Mr. Lind in the Super Motorsport BMW. So yes guys, this will be an evening to nighttime race. So if you like how we did it for the Simpit Patreon race last week on the Saturday, so it might throw a few curveballs at some people. Hopefully we'll be able to cope. The BMW does look nice. Still not very keen on the front end, but with the right livery, like this one with the Schumer Motorsports, it does actually look okay. So the only car who's in the pits at the moment is Mr. Friday in the Lexus. Oh, Mr. Whipperman is in there as well. Well, Whipperman Racing, I should say. Schumer, aka Mr. Heiko. John Crane is out in the Crane Motorsport, well, Crane Racing Aston Martin. I love how he's getting white flags, so someone is off in front of him. Just making sure all my timings are correct, everything's getting logged. We are good to go. So again, the time that's popped up at the moment, that's null and void because that's the time that they've been literally in the pit lane trying to come out. So we'll start counting their lap times from now. We'll swap over to the really nice sounding Lexus. Fortunately, I do not have this person's livery, so we are going to see the standard in-game livery. And our connections to some of the guys may be bad, as we do have guys from America, we have guys from Europe taking part. So he's just gone on to his first lap. We have Kevin and Callum coming down side by side into Ascari. Callum is on a lap. So Ken there did make it a little bit awkward. As our first times have come in. Currently on pole is a 1:49.8, followed closely by Mr. Lind in his BMW. So that currently is Audi from BMW, from Aston Martin, from McLaren. Very unusual. Normally we see the BMW is very strong here, but the Audi looks like it's a very strong car. So we'll go on with Mr. Heiko for his first lap. Okay, from his interior view. Ah yes, my camera angles have stayed, so we do have a splitter angle here. And we also have our rear diffuser camera. Just making sure they were still working. From my old data, because they do change the camera angles. So kind of just looking at where people are out on track. So the top three are now very close together. Say that, and then Mr. Lind goes to start a little bit more fast and just pushes himself out. Reach of third place from that 1 second group. Even the Katana, sorry, I've just only just looked at the chat because I've got my one of my overlays working. That unfortunately hides it, but I will actually move that to slightly onto my screen so I can keep an eye on it as well. There we go. It's in the bottom right hand corner. You gotta click it through there. It's very awkward to do the chat through Xbox, I find anyway. As Heiko comes out and says, nope, first place is my position with a 1:49.0. Very fast time there. Heiko definitely looks like he's got his setup working now more than it was before. It's all good by me. I love racing Heiko myself when I'm in the car. So we have Mr. Simon Lind in P2. Thomas Rourke in P3. Mr. Friday in the Lexus. Only 1.4 seconds out. So John Crane's only 1.6 seconds out. So it does look like... No, Katana, I'm not taking part in this race. I am literally the race control and also race broadcaster for this race. My next time I will be racing will be... Oh, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Will be this Sunday. I'm going to try to stream my race this Sunday. It's part of the Potato Nation. It's the first round of the new season. And it's at Alton Park. So I'm going to try to get my stream to work on the new system that I've got. So hopefully get a few issues sorted. I just need to bring down a few settings, I think. And it should be working all nice and good. As Mr. Heiko's got even faster now. He's now in the 48s with a 1:48.777. Really extending his lead here in the qualifying session. Just looking back, we've had no contact between anyone's person's cars yet. So it's very close at the front here. So Mr. Lynch just slowing up on track. I think he's giving himself some space. Yeah, do something different than I've had a racing for a change. You could actually say that. I've been on Microsoft Flight Simulator recently, and I've been enjoying that, and also Euro Truck Simulator. So, been having a chill, having a difference of games, just having a chill out really. Still, obviously, do my sim racing, but it's not just 100% my priority at the moment either. So, currently in first place, with just under 10 minutes to go, is Mr. Heiko Sherman, followed by Mr. Simon Lind in the BMW, Mr. Thomas Rorick in P3, Adam Friday is in P4 in the Lexus. Got Mr. John Crane in the Aston Martin. We're very close together on track again. Mr. Callum McLeod, followed by hunting down Ken. And these are the two who are in 6th and 7th respectively. So Ken doesn't have his lights on at the moment. I think the game is saying that it's not dark enough for him for the auto lights. As he goes wide, so Callum has to take evasive action but also stay on the track at the same time. So you will see some of the lights and some tonight on the cars. So the auxiliary lights are here on the A pillars of the Aston Martin. Ken doesn't have any. I don't know if we have any on Mr. Crane's car. It doesn't seem like we do. The Lexus I know won't because it's the standard in-game. No, there's the Audi. I'm very surprised, even with the in-game one. So it's currently 2 BMWs out front. So you got the Schumann Motorsport one for Mr. Lind in P2. He doesn't have any auxiliary lights, but I do know Mr. Whipperman does. He has the strip across the top of the windshield. So some of the guys have been in the pits now, just get some fresh tyres, get some more fuel in the car, and go out for a second run. I would myself be doing 2 or 3 runs in this group if I was on track myself inside of the 20 minutes. Do a first run, see how you're doing, see what tyre pressures need to be adjusted, go again. So Heiko is looking at the moment like he's going to be on pole. I'm just going to bring up the current standings on my screen. Unfortunately, it's something I cannot share as something has happened. I just heard someone stop. And so stopped and towed back to the pits. So the current standings are Heiko Sherman in first place with 43 points, Thomas Rorick in second place with 40, Callum McLeod in the McLaren in the third place with 27, with Mr. John Crane right behind him in the Aston Martin with 26 points. Brandon Skinner, who's not with us tonight, he is in 5th with 18. You've got Mr. Simon Lind in the other BMW, he's in 6th place with 12 points. And then we've got Mr. Ken Estep in 7th with 10 points. Fortunately, the other guys who have signed up have not been showing up. I know obviously the guys who run in the Simpit have not been able to make them due to the time scale. But we will be looking at season 2 doing a new time scale, so keep an eye out for the times. We will be looking at doing better times for the events. Oh, I do apologise for my headset. Still looking at getting a new one, as my one is broken. Everyone does seem nice and close now. Even Ken is really close to Mr. McLeod's times. So we're going to go with... Let's have a look from his view. Going wide to take as much road as possibly can onto the start straight. So he starts another lap now. So yeah, that was an out lap that time. Got Mr. Lynn off the track. Don't know what happened there. So let's have a look. Oh, he lost it in the middle of a scurry. Very unusual place to drop it. Very unusual place at all. So we do see Mr. Heiko is slightly faster at the moment. He has now just dropped down a little bit. No, he's still gaining time. He's nearly 2 tenths up on his best. Kind of is at the moment, unfortunately, 1 second down off of his best. Can Mr. Heiko keep this together? He is currently 3.5 tenths up. It's slowing down a little bit. It's down to 3 tenths now. Can he keep it together? He has. So he's at 2.5. So he's 2.5 tenths up at the moment. Is he going to push out his lead even more? Is he going to be able to push that time out to 1 second lead? It doesn't look like it. No, he's losing time. He lost half a tenth for that last lap, but that will be a new lap time of a 1:48.567. That puts him 8 tenths now up in front, pulling away from the rest of the guys. We've come down into the last 3 minutes, so roughly 3 laps left for qualifying, depending where you are on track. I do believe Mr. Heiko here will get 1 more lap in after this one that he's on now, who's also up. So unfortunately, your connection to Mr. Friday, it does not seem the very greatest of all. It does seem very laggy on my end. I hope it's not so bad for everyone else on track. So we will switch over to Mr. John Crane, who is half a second up on his best. So they messed up that updates. Yeah, it's because what they've done is because it's now 60 frames per second, and the old consoles are locked to 30 frames per second, and also because obviously you can now have 30 cars as well on the newer consoles. Because of the frame rate upgrade, they felt it'd be too much an advantage, because having higher frames really help a lot in this game. So that's the only reason why they've not done it. But Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that it's literally like cutting half the very small community that there already was on Xbox and on the PlayStation series, even more now than it was before. As I know you've just had the newest update of 1.8 come out. We've had it now for quite a while now. And in 2 weeks' time, we're getting the next DLC, what is going to be the Challengers Pack, what is going to be a new car pack coming out. They've just released actually today the first car in that pack, and that's going to be the BMW M2 CS. So that's a car that competes in the TCX class in GT World Challenge America. So that's going to be one to keep an eye out for. So that class will actually sit below GT4 on the speed scale, but that will be a very good single make race car, that will be. So guys, we've just come up into the end of qualifying. Everyone, Mr. John Crane and Mr. Callum McLeod are currently on faster laps. We'll look over to Mr. Callum as he's coming up into the final corner. He is going to gain time, but unfortunately it's just not going to be enough. He's only gained 1/10 of a second, so that will keep him in 6th place. As we just come waiting for across the line now with Mr. John Crane. And as Mr. John Crane crosses the line, we now head straight on to the grid. Just at this moment, I'm going to take a little bit of cameraman fun, so give me 1 second, guys. So let's have a sweep through the grid, shall we? So in Mr. First place we have Heiko Sherman, followed by Thomas in the Audi. Mr. Lind in P3, Friday in P4, Mr. John Crane in P5, Callum McLeod in 6th, and Ken Estep in 7th. So guys have just 3 minutes left. I'm just going to switch screens quickly, guys, and I'll be back 1 moment. I would do, but my game has now actually frozen me out, so give me 1 second, guys. Just gonna have to switch the camera views. Hopefully now I'll be able to have my controls. Okay, it looks like I've lost full control on my PC. There we go. Aha, there we go. We got it back working. I was panicking there for a second. But we are back. So I'm just going to switch over to a different screen. And I'll be back in 1 second. Don't forget, guys, mandatory pit stop. So as we come back onto the grid, just a couple of seconds to go, and it will be lights out for round 3 of the ACC League by the Simpit and simracing.gp. So the cars are rolling now. I do hope that Heiko does not sit too far forward today. Unfortunately for the community, the Patreon race, he did sit a bit too far forward. Looks like he is in his box today. And we are green, green, green. Everyone is clear. There is no penalties that have come up so far. It does. Oh, this could be dicey into the first corner here. As Mr. Lin has put up the inside of Mr. Heiko and takes the lead. But unfortunately, he's run deep. Oh, he's going to have to give up the time gained. And he has done that nicely. So, we are currently still in the order we had from qualifying. So Mr. Whipperman is in first place, followed by Vorick, followed by Lind, followed by Friday, Mr. Crane, Kenneth Step. Kenneth's unfortunately already fallen a little bit back from the rest of the group. It does look like there's an interesting race going to be going on through this. So I just need to go into game. I will be back in 1 second, gentlemen. So all drivers would have just seen that message I just had to send to them. I like how it's just gone purple for Mr. John Crane, but at the moment the lap times are not valid lap times. Oh, Mr. Crane! Ooh. Whipperman just went a little bit deep. Sorry, Warwick. So we do have places changing further back. We're always looking for more drivers as well, guys, who would like to take part in the ACC League. Make sure if you want to get involved, get yourself over to the simpit.com or through the YouTube, or onto YouTube, into our Discord channels, and just get yourself signed up through simracing.gp. Also, if you're on the simracing.gp site already, sign up. Just make sure to come over to the Discord and make yourself known. Say hello to the guys. We're always here, always trying to help people, always doing reviews of new equipment. We just had the new Moza Formula wheel review go out, and a new Moza wheelbase. So always keep an eye out on the Simpit, on the YouTube channels and on Twitch for all your sim racing needs. As you can see, it is getting now rather dusk here at the Temple of Sweden, Monza. We're just going to move back to the front. Does look like Heiko has pulled away now from Mr. Rourke. 1.6 seconds as Heiko has gone down fastest with a 1:49.4, sorry. So for the people who are viewing who are not sure of what that number 1 is in the orange marker next to the name is, the drivers do have to take a mandatory pit stop. The mandatory pit stop is involving a full tyre change. That means the guys have to change tyres. Even if they pit and then go back out but don't change the tyres, it will not class as a valid lap. Katana, mate, no lie. If you jump onto PC, pretty much every console game you ever want is on there as well. It's very much worth it. I'm so happy I made the jump myself from the consoles. And just look at the minimum requirements, because even on minimum requirements, you can turn everything down. You don't have to make it look as pretty as some people do, myself included. And the game is still enjoyable. Like, we did a race, I did it with Jania's community. We did 107 cars on Suzuka. Now, even my PC and even Jania's PC, that is absolutely massively strong, was struggling that much that he was getting 10 frames per second. Not even that. And that's because he was drawing in every single car. We all said drop that down to drawing 17 in. He drew 17 in, and his graphics went from having to give him 10 frames per second all the way up to 180 frames per second again, purely for the amount of cars was getting drawn in. So it is always a viable choice of being able to come onto PC and then slowly work your way up through. Just go, okay, I can afford a new graphics card, let's get that, and you just get a new bit of RAM. You can do it all. With console, you're stuck with what they give you, and you're stuck with it until they give you the new consoles. What could be 9-10 years down the line, you never know. But anyway, back to the race. Heiko has gone faster now with a 1:49.370. He has pulled away from second place now, who is 2.4 seconds back. But Mr. Friday here is very close to Mr. Lenny's 0.6 of a second back, so he is in the drag. Can he get pulled forward and maybe make the overtake? Also, guys, if you want me to change any of the camera angles, let me know who you want me to jump on board with as well. And we'll jump over to their views. The sound of the mighty V8 in this Lexus is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, we are starting to lag with this driver. So we'll go on board with Mr. Lynn and look back from his car in the splitter view. That's a custom camera, by the way. He is catching him. Does look a bit of rubber bandings going on, but he is actually catching. He's 0.2 of a second behind now. Very close behind. So there you go, guys. This is the live gaps on the screen now. As we are on board with third place. That's why his name's in the middle, just like it is on your relative. It's shown the exact same one here. As the Lexus tries to make a dive. This is definitely the battle at the moment. Heiko has pulled a bigger gap. He's gone even faster with a 1:49.0. Exactly, Katana. So even with that upgraded the Series X, there still could be some massive limitations in a couple of years' time, where the graphics are lacking. Like the whole system could be behind what it could be. Where that's the thing with PC, is you have to update it constantly, like the hardware, software side. But then you can also go, okay, I need more cooling, I need better fans, I need more graphics, I need more RAM, I need more memory. You can always just add to it or replace. With a console, unfortunately, you can literally just add memory, and that's all you can do. So guys, lap times are varying now. They are getting a little bit here and there. Friday has now fallen back from the Lexus. As Mr. Lin just goes very, very deep, that he's going to have to give up some time. Now my log hasn't told me that he had gained time from there at all. So he could be lucky, but the game could have also already given him the in-game strike. I don't get that information actually. But we will be looking at doing some more fun races. Yeah, unfortunately that is literally the way, the upsides and downsides of all types of sim racing. And not even just sim racing, in gaming in general as well. So it does look like these two are actually catching P2. Need to switch back to my time. Yes, they are slowly catching him. Mr. Lin is only 2.6 seconds behind as Mr. McLeod's gone off. Just had the yellow flag come up onto my screen. Just going to check what's happened here. As he's just retired. Oh, he took a big, massive bit too much curb and it just threw him into the wall. And unfortunately, he retired from that one. So that is a massive shame, Mr. Callum McLeod. So you jump on board with our leader, Mr. Heiko Sherman from Whipperman Racing. Whipperman Racing, as well as doing ACC, they also do iRacing as well. And also guys, with the guys from the Simpit, if you're ever looking to do iRacing road course or iRacing ovals, there are leagues that we host on there as well. This is just our ACC league. So there is more leagues out there for that we host. We also have Monday Fun Days, that is on various sims that we host on there. Ooh, excuse me. So it does look like Mr. Callum has actually come back. I don't know if he's just sitting in the pit as retired. It's just reappeared on my time screen. It might be because I was on a different screen by accident. But we do, like I said, we do have multiple different styles of leagues. This is just our ACC league that I broadcast. The other ones are getting broadcasted on Twitch from some of the drivers as well, from their perspective. And also some of our higher races, like also our sim racing Patreon events as well. They are hosted by Mr. Sean Cole, who is the main boss from the Simpit. So he broadcasts as well. So currently fastest on track is Mr. Heiko here with a 1:49.027. His last lap was a 49.140. He's now got a 5-second lead to second place. Mr. Lin is catching slowly actually, and he's lost Mr. Friday now. Friday is 2.7 seconds off of Mr. Lin. Don't know what happened there. He's really fallen back from Simon. I mean, teasing there for Mr. John Crane. He can see them, but he's just not there with them. His lap times are on pace with the guys. He just can't get it close enough to start catching. We have Mr. Ken here in his Ferrari. He's a little bit of one of our slower drivers again. But again, guys, we have every level of driver. Don't forget, some of these guys have literally been on iRacing for years and years and years. Have come to ACC, and it handles completely different. It's a completely different sim. So everything feels alien to them. So, like again, same as when I used to run my old league on the console, for DKR, we have every level of driver taking part. So, don't ever feel like you can't join us because you're not fast enough, or you're too slow, or I'm gonna be too fast for everyone. Just join. It's not the racing. It's not the like, oh, I'm too slow. No, I'm too fast. Or anything like, oh, there's not enough competition. It's just taking part. It's coming in and enjoying the community we have and racing alongside everyone. As Mr. Lemon Heiko has got it even faster now with a 1:48.820. Wow, that's a fast lap. I actually do believe that's faster than the lap time we had in the Simpit Patreon race. It was just at the same track just last weekend. So I'm just going to check that out quickly. Oh, excuse me. Unfortunately, I'm not actually well at the moment. So yes, his lap times are faster. A lot faster actually. Last time, he had the fastest lap in the race. Didn't win, unfortunately did finish 4th with, because he had a few penalties, with a 1:49.3. So he is currently 0.5 of a second faster than he has been before around this track. With the Simpit guys. So he is really pushing up some lap times. Last lap for 1:49.220. Oh, he is putting a massive gap now. He is 6.5 seconds off, up in front of second place. Who's Mr. Thomas Verrick in the Audi, followed by Mr. Lind, followed by Mr. Friday. Just see Mr. Crane coming into view here now in the very day glow Aston Martin. We're going to click on with the Lexus and see how he is doing. As you can see, it is getting darker now. By the time these guys do finish this race, it will be pitch black. They should be coming up to their pit window very shortly, actually. So we'll keep an eye on that as he's gone wide again. So it looks like where he's going wide there, he's losing time because he's now just dropped to 6 seconds behind P3. Who will go on board with right now. Simon Lind is hunting down Mr. Thomas Verrick in that Audi. It looks like no one's got the pace tonight to keep up with Mr. Heiko Sherman. So guys in the chat, if you are here, let yourself be known. I have got the chat up so we can have a nice little friendly chat between each other. Also, please give us a like. It does help me grow. It helps get the videos out there to other people. As Friday's gone into the pit. The pit window is open. I do apologise. So he will be coming in now for his mandatory pit stop. As soon as when he comes out of the pit, if that box is green, we know he's changed his tyres. If it is still orange, it means he hasn't changed his tyres. But I do believe he's going to change them now. Did give the guys warning in the game chat. Dead man, what happened, dude? I seen the crash, man. Should have just kept going, man. You should have just pushed through. But that's unfortunate, mate, what happened, man. Really was unfortunate what happened. You just took a little bit too much here at Scar and he just threw you into that inside wall. So the Ferrari, the Lexus of Mr. Friday has taken his mandatory stop, and it was a valid stop. You had no heat that's right hand side tyres, and you were slow on the straights. I don't know why you were slow on the straights, my friend. That car is very good here. It's just it doesn't like the curbs. But if you keep it off the curbs, but just touch them enough that you can be fast, it's one of the best cars here. It's just Mr. Crane. Ooh. It just flashed yellow down for a second, so I'm just gonna have a look for a different view. So it's just it flashing up when it should have. Yeah, it could be like that sometimes, Dead Man. Definitely got to do some more coaching with you, do some driver coaching. Sit there, maybe even no sucky, yeah. We always love a bit of suck, don't we? But yeah, Heiko here is just pulling away now, 8.4 seconds out in front. John Crane's lap pit stop was clean. Let's see how well they come out with Lex. As I just heard the Lexus Thunder Pie. So Mr. John Crane's pit stop was clean as well. I think Mr. Crane might have actually gained a little bit of time there. Let's put Mr. Ken Estep up into 4th currently. But again, this is with the pit stops now taking effect as Thomas is into the pits in the Audi. So guys, for the people who don't know, on console version, you will be getting the new BMW M4 GT3. That'll be coming out for you in a couple next week, I believe, or the week after. I'm not 100%. I think it's in 2 weeks' time, the same time as we get our right date. Well, you just had it. Sorry, just had it. I do apologise. So you got the M4 GT3. For the PC guys who are watching, we will be getting a new car pack in just 2 weeks' time, just under 2 weeks' time actually now. We will be getting the BMW M2 CS, or is a TCX car from GT World Challenge America. We'll also be getting the Porsche 992 Cup car. The Ferrari 488 Challenge was also a Cup car. The newer Lamborghini Super Trofeo Evo 2. And also, I was about to say something, but I just seen that Thomas has got a 30-second stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is massively unfortunate for him. That's going to drop him way down the grid now. He is the only one who's really going to put any type of pressure onto Heiko. As Heiko comes into his pit stop now. It's just Hind comes in behind him also. So the two BMWs are in the pits together. Ken is the only one who has took his pit stop now. Speed kills kids. Yes, it does, Heiko. Oh, that is massively unfortunate, though. So this will technically put Mr. Ken Estep into first place due to not having taken his pit stop yet. Oh no, he's coming into the pit stop now, so he doesn't want the fact of leading a lap. I can tell you now, guys in chat, I will rinse him later on whilst we're in the group chat together after. As I do hear the BMW's taken off. Heiko has cleared his mandatory pit stop. Mr. Simon Lind. Oh, very long pit stop from Mr. Lind. So the only person whose pit stop is now getting served is Mr. Ken's. Everyone has took their mandatory stop, all clean. Dead man, unfortunately, he's an idiot. Has a crash, puts in a wall, retires. Sydney, you're doing very good in the points at the moment as well. But I am wondering, with this time penalty, is Ken actually going to be ahead of Mr. Thomas here and take 4th place? Just looking at the timing screens, would be very tight. I think he might just be in front of Mr. Crane actually. Stupid car, not my fault. It's always your fault, dead man. It'll always be your fault, my friend. But yeah, the McLaren is another one that is an awkward car to set up because at some tracks it's absolutely amazing at the box. Some tracks it just goes, no, I don't want to like it because it's a curb. So this is where you should be in a Mercedes because for this track, you've been absolutely flying away from everyone. Especially with my setup on it. What they need to incorporate for the console version for ACC. Okay, so one thing I would say they need to do is, unfortunately can't do cross-generation, cross-play. So do PlayStation and PlayStation 4 and Xbox 3 and Xbox One. Do the crossover there. Then do the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series both versions. Do the cross-play there as well. Because otherwise they are going to be making the racing group so small, it's not going to be good. And the game will die on the console, what's unfortunate. Yet the Bentley is steamrolls over the curves. Is not the most best car at the moment overall. The ones overall at the moment are... Ooh, has Thomas retired the car? No, he is getting going. That was a very long stop go 30 though. And he has cleared his penalty, so he is down in 6th place unfortunately for him. I know he wanted to change it into the Ferrari, the same as you want to change, dead man. So that puts Heiko now that'll put Heiko at the tension now. It's like, I want to put a lap on him. And Heiko will start pushing even more now to get back up to do that. Especially on the new fresh set of tyres. So, if you look at it overall from the BOP side of it, the BMW M4 is still the best car. It's still the best car, even by the BOP. Then a close second is the McLaren actually. followed by the Mercedes now. The Mercedes used to be one of the worst cars, it's now the Mercedes. Then it's followed by the Porsche. The Lexus is right behind the Porsche. Because the Porsche, yes, it's not very good at top speed, but its cornerability and the grip it has coming out the corners is the best. The corner speed the Porsche can take is the highest out of all cars. The Honda it's an okay car. It's not the best. Same as the Nissan. The Jag and the old Aston Martin I put out the very back. The Aston Martin GT, the V8 version, same level keying as the Mercedes is. Yeah, the BMW M4 GT3 in the new console update was absolutely amazing. When it came to the PC version originally, it was broken. It was so overpowered, it was ridiculous. They have had to do so many patches for us to rein it back. Because there was a few glitches and there was a few setup bugs that we had. Then we had Toegate going on. Yeah, that's the weird bit about it. I find everyone says if you want a mid-engine car to start with, go with Audi. If you want a front-engine car to start with, go with the Bentley. My answer is no. If you can drive the Porsche, you can drive any car. Drive the Porsche, you can drive. If you can handle that thing at its best and at its worst, you can handle any car in this game. Clear as day, you can handle it all day long. Katana, don't worry, Simon, don't worry. So we're just going to have a look through the gap. So Heiko here has a 14.5 second lead now to Mr. Simon Lind in the second BMW. He's got the Schubert Motorsports livery. I do have this livery, Deadman, if you do want it. So Gran Turismo 7 has a bug just now that lets hybrids, I'm guessing that's hybrids, bypass the BOP system. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's a hilarious one. So Mr. Lind has a 10-second lead over Mr. Adam Friday. Unfortunately, our connection to Mr. Adam Friday is really bad. I don't know where in the world he is from. So this is unfortunately the reason why we haven't really focused on it, because there is quite a lot of lag there. Mr. Ken Estep is 9 seconds back. Mr. Lind's got off. Mr. Lind out of P2's just had a massive crash. What's happened there? Oh, he's got wide. He's kept his foot in it. Spun it. Oh, you should have been on the brakes. Oh, you should have been on the brakes. He put it in the back end into the wall. Oh. So he's kept second place, but that is a major fall. He's now 26 seconds behind Heiko. Heiko's going to take an easy win here at Monza. There's a daily race. It runs away for the first 3 laps and then runs out of boost on the last lap. Can it still drive though on the last lap, or is it literally just a dead stick? Or a dead throttle, I should say. But that is so massively unfortunate for Mr. Crane. Saying that, Mr. John Crane is in front of Friday in the Lexus. Oh, I'm going to keep on with Mr. Crane though, because unfortunately the Lexus's connection is really, really bad. I just hope it doesn't cause any issues between the guys here. Oh my god, Xbox Series X has a bug where if you touch any buttons on the controller while in ACC, it shuts the game down. Is that whilst on the wheel, Katana? So if you're on the wheel and you touch the controller at the same time, it will shut it down. That is very bad. Yeah, but it loses 30 miles an hour. Yeah, but if it's able to pull such a massive gap, 30 mile an hour is going to be nothing though, is it? I'm going to come away from this. Even though this is the only battle on track right now, the stuttering that is really bad for Mr. Friday. I'm actually going to bring up... I'm going to switch cars for you guys. I'm going to switch back over to Heiko here. I'm just going to check where this person's connection is from. Because I know our server is running in East Coast America. So I'm just going to have a look at people who are taking part. Ah, this is why Mr. Alan Friday's connection is from Trinidad and Tobago. So that connection is literally the other side of the world, near enough, from the server. The wheel works fine, just don't touch the controller whilst in a race. Yeah, so that's actually blocking that from what you just said there, Dead Man. So he could be on the wheel, but as soon as he touches the controller, it crashes the game out. I wonder if that is because it's not liking the so many inputs. But guys, I will give us a rundown of the current order. It is Mr. Heiko Sherman in first place, absolutely rocketing away from everyone. Mr. Simon Lind in P2. Got Mr. John Crane 10 seconds back from Mr. Lind. I mean, Friday's fallen back again. He's now 8.5 seconds off of John Crane. Ken Estep is only 31 seconds back from him. Still hasn't got all those lights on that Ferrari. We need to really tell Ken to get those endurance headlights on. He'll have a bit more brightness. I think it's because iRacing is literally just lights on or lights are off. And unfortunately, Mr. Thomas here, all the way down to 6th place. That's really unfortunate for him. Yeah, Deadman, it could be that it's just something purely with ACC. We've had it before on console when I used to be on there. It's that originally you could put a keyboard onto the console and then change some of the camera angles, like change your driving position and so on before on that. And then they removed complete support for your keyboard. So whatever your view was, you were locked to it and you could not change it, like ever. And then there's also a way to change your Lumi rank, the abbreviation of your name, as you see here on Mr. Thomas Vorik's car is R space R. On Mr. Heiko's car, it's SCH. There was a bug that you couldn't change that. You had to do certain things for it to work, and then they patched that. So you couldn't even do that. So basically, if you changed it to, let's say you changed it to a clan tag, and then you left that clan, that group of people, you were stuck with it on your car because you couldn't change it. No, and there's no way to reset any camera angles or anything that you changed. So they really shot themselves in the foot with it. And then even now, they're still saying they're not going to do controller keyboard inputs for ACC. It is something that has been brought up to Kudos quite a lot, actually. about the console versions. But we're coming up just under 6 minutes left to go, and Heiko, he can literally put it into the most fuel-saving engine map and most likely coast home from here. He is 26.5 seconds in front of P2. He is currently 12 seconds in front of P3. Can Ken keep this 7-second gap to Mr. Vorik? Let's go on board with Mr. Vorik. Let's have a look from his view in the Audi. Can we see the darkness of Mr. Ken's Ferrari? We can just see it in the right up in front. It's only there for a split second, but he is slowly catching. Is he going to be able to get past Ken in the last couple of laps? Yeah, exactly that. But at Katana, there is options. We have only recently found out. If you look up Niels Nyox, he found a video. He did a video of this. You can map more than one button to do the same, do 2 different commands. So for me, my left front button on my steering wheel, my one that's closest to my wheel, if I press it, it'll flash my lights. But if I hold it, because you can put a delay system in where you have to map first, you can have it to set another control. And you can set that delay to like half a second, a second and a half, all the way up to 2 seconds. Now if you hold it, so if me holding my Y button down for 1.5 seconds, it'll turn my lights on. I hold it again, it'll turn them on to the full brightness. And at any time, if I just tap it, it'll do my headlight flash. So there is a few commands that you can do. I've also got another button where I could do my engine maps. So I could have my fuel save map for like formation laps, and then tap it again, and it will turn on my race engine map. So you can map a few extra things. Have a look at what you can do. I will drop a link into the Simpit's Discord for that one. But also, because I know you yourself are not on the Simpit Discord, I believe I still have you on Discord as a private message. If that, I'll make sure I send it over to you. So yeah, have a look. It could be that you can double set up some buttons. So as we go back into the game itself, looking, Thomas is 4.1 seconds now away from Ken. Can he catch Ken? Currently, the last couple of laps, he's been 3 seconds a lap faster. We can see Ken now in the front. We're going to switch over to Ken's view and look back. So this is Ken's front view from his front splitter. And what do you know? The broken Ferrari rear view. So we won't be looking back from his view. Oh, he's pushing too hard to catch him. Oh, he kept it. Very surprising. Yeah, I closed down my personal Discord now, the DKR Discord channel, because I just closed it completely down. So as you got me on there as a message, that just drop me a message on there, and I'll make sure that I will send you the video that explains how to set up these extra commands on the same buttons. Thomas is really winding this Ferrari up now. Just going to see where Mr. Heiko is. So Heiko, I believe, is on his final lap. So we will keep an eye on him. I will bring up the map just so I can see where Heiko is on track. Yeah, I do believe this is going to be the final lap for Heiko. Yes, this will be the final lap for Mr. Heiko, so we'll go on board with him. We'll go for TV camera set 2. And if you're wondering what that green spot is that's lit up on the side of his car, we can't see it. Well, we can see it while also driving, but we can't see that race, the number that's on the side of that. But what that is the fuel remaining in that car. The driver can see it. His teammates can't even see it because of the way it's programmed. But he can actually see how much fuel he's got by looking on the side of the car. As here we go, Heiko comes across the line to take the win here at Monza for the Simpit ACC League. He does a wave, flashes the lights, and puts it into the wall. So Mr. Lid is currently 20 seconds back. He's coming around the final corner now. So it's a BMW 1-2. Mr. John Craner is going to come home in third. That's going to be... John's going to be absolutely over the moon with that one. So Mr. John Crane comes home in third. I want to see Mr. Friday across the line, but unfortunately with his camera issues. But I want to look at this battle because it's going to come down to literally the parabolica. Because Thomas is literally right behind him now. He is just over 1 second behind. As Friday has come across the line now. So, is he going to get him in the final corner in the break-in? I don't think he's going to. I think he's 1 lap too short. And he is going to be 1 lap too short. Ken is going to hold on for 5th place in front of Thomas. And he does hold on to that final position. So congratulations to Heiko. Congratulations on him taking the win here tonight. Obviously, for some of the guys, it's still the middle of the day. For the guys over in the Americas. For us here in Europe, it is now late in the evening. But guys, thank you for joining us. I will be racing myself this Sunday. I'll be trying to stream it. And then I'm also be racing on Wednesday. But also guys, we will be back same time next week for round 4 of the Simpit Racing League. My name's been Mike. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon.